Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your monthly reading. We're just gonna dive right in. I will note that while I'm going to be doing this reading from the perspective of just like general themes, and I'm gonna take a little bit more of an introspective perspective. I don't know if that's even the right thing to say. Anyway, this can be applied to like an actual romantic relationship in connection with another person. However, again, I'm just going to read the themes more generally. So obviously take what resonates and use your own discernment with this reading. All right, Gemini, let's get into it. The overall theme of this reading is, I would say, autonomy, but really more about someone that is realizing that they've kind of been going with the flow, with someone else's flow. You know what I mean? Like, this is about kind of taking the reins, taking hold of the reins, getting someone's life back under their own control. There is a little bit of a challenge when it comes to actually doing that. I'm literally seeing like the action that needs to be taken. Gemini, I'm seeing maybe isn't the clearest right now, but it's the understanding is that you do not want to stay where you are and that there is, somewhere else to be. Whether that's literally, I feel like this, it's in more an actual literal sense. We do have the world here, so you could actually be wanting to move, like you like physically needing to relocate, wanting to just pack your shit and go, kind of a vibe. And it's like, but where am I gonna go? Or like there are obviously other steps that come with actually like geographically relocating. So maybe this is about getting those ducks um in a row, right? Finances could also be a thing that always comes up, just about, again, where are we going to go. But actual physical travel, I'm getting, is more emphasized. Like there is some type of challenge when it comes to actually the actual moving. I am seeing, Gemini, that it has been a very turbulent time. There's a lot of conflicting, combative energy, this like all around you. There could be people that you feel like have just way shorter fuses, like their tempers are just flaring. It seems like there's conflict everywhere. Things from the past are being brought up. Like there's a general sense of not a lot of peace, even in the subconscious influence. Like everything that's happening around you is creating such dysregulation. I'm just seeing someone whose like brain is going all the time. There is not a lot of peace. There's not a lot of quiet. I'm gonna pull one more on this subconscious influence, just because this okay, I'm getting there is maybe a specific like conflict, a specific argument that would have happened recently that is like really strongly on your mind. This is bringing my attention back to um like a romantic connection. But again, this is more talking about something representative of like your foundation, like something that I think you would have taken a lot of solace in, like its stability. So again, could be a relationship, fill in the blank. I mean, something that is very much would have brought some type of comfort. We have the Queen of Pentacles out here as well. So anyway, something that brought a great deal of like stability and safety, that has maybe, I feel like this is more like represented by a person, someone that you maybe felt like was a safe space isn't anymore, that kind of a thing. Something that you thought was like safe and secure, something has rattled that. But it's like making you kind of question, like at your core, more of who you are almost as a person. This is like, it's bringing um a lot of other things into question, more like the way that you perceive them. Like, is this something that's really safe? Is this something that, and the example that I'm getting is like, and this is a bigger kind of awakening than, I guess, it's not fair to like weigh them up in that way. But this feels like, someone that's like, if you were told your whole life, if you go to college, right, and you get a degree, then you have like job security. Well, there are a lot of people with degrees right now understanding that is not true. You know what I mean? Like that was something that at a time was accepted as a general truth. But it's like, it's that kind of thing where there's something that on the outside like the symbol of it, I think, is like represents something that you're having to reckon with, it not actually being that. I'm sorry that I did not have the most graceful way of phrasing that. And again, I'm seeing this like past influence. This is emphasizing again a romantic connection, Gemini, but it's like whatever the facade around, I'm just getting like people pretending something is one way and you are being faced with the fact that it's not that way, Gemini, and you just cannot stand it anymore. If it's an actual relationship and you're realizing that like it's just not all peaches and cream and whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's just not, the fantasy is just that, it's a fantasy. It's like that kind of illusion, and it feels really aggressive, almost like the kind of like the ripping away with like whatever the kind of veil is on this feels really either sudden or just harsh, or like there's something about it that's really jarring, Gemini. um and it's like maybe you've had to, like, it's been a struggle up until this point. You've been like fighting for this connection, you've been fighting for, you know what I mean, to kind of hold something up. This is like really trying to keep something alive and just kind of having to let it go, Gemini. This is really talking about and maybe even something got a little out of hand is what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing excess, like, or there's something about like whatever the kind of image of this, like it's not what it purports to be, is what I keep hearing. Like it's not what it actually is. If this was a relationship, it's like someone kind of selling you like a house and a picket fence, but it's like inside there's just nonstop arguing and nonstop. I hope not actual like altercations, Gemini. I hope this is not talking about actual physical altercations. Um, but just a lot of conflict, a lot of conflict. In our incoming energy, Gemini, I see you taking the time. I feel like whatever this is, like, again, this feels like big, like this is like someone that is like wanting to kind of change the way, like fundamentally, like how they view life is like changing. So it's like the way that they go about existing in life is changing in a lot of smaller ways. And I see the lot of like smaller changes coming up, Gemini. You may feel like you kind of need to like get some kind of footing before you make your big ultimate change. If you do actually want to move, this is like that, you know what I mean? Kind of getting, again, everything that you need to get situated before you can do something big like that. But I'm seeing just some type of like intentional moving away and separating yourself from all these other things. And I'm seeing like, you have to kind of do it mentally first, and then like all the other things come into play. um there is, I just want to have like a little note about, especially when it comes to things like contracts. If you have any type of like legally binding anything, just double check, because I'm just seeing like there might be something that you're forgetting, something that gets left out, left behind, kind of a thing. Um, Also, there's just something about wording, like an intentional leaving something out. Like, people will tell like half truths. You know what I mean? Like what they're saying isn't technically wrong or like inaccurate or false, but it's like you're not saying something that would that changes the meaning a lot and like changes what is being said a lot. So it's that kind of a thing. Trust yourself. If you feel like there's something that someone isn't saying, trust that, interrogate that, kind of poke and prod at that, because I think you'll discover something that, the intent is that it remains hidden. But ultimately, Gemini, and this is just a nod that came at the end. If you are some, like, if you're a parent, and part of the struggle is like maybe like you will be embarking on, I don't know why I use that word, but looking at possibly having to parent by yourself. There is a little note about like your own happiness and your ability to take care of yourself and others, and like the self-care that you need to truly be able to help other people grow, to be able to raise an entire child. Like, you are much better and healthier on your own, where you can take care of yourself, where you are safe, where your emotions are being cared for, where you are being considered, and all of those things, versus like what society says you have to have, you know what I mean, to be a family, and what a family looks like for you. And what this is just saying, don't be afraid of living your truth and doing it in the way that is best for you. Okay? Like, other people are not you don't have to worry about what other people have to say about any of that if you're going your own way, and trying to chart your own course and that kind of a thing. No one knows all the things that you have to deal with except you, Gemini. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle for you guys, and while I do that, um, I am going through all the zodiacs again. We're doing them once a month. It is the start of Taurus season, so if you know your sun, moon, and rising, and you want to check out the other readings, we're doing 2 a day, so they will all be up by this Saturday. Okay, let's see what card we got here. We have number 24, Defy Gravity. And I cannot sing, so I'm not gonna start singing. But if you know, you know the song that just popped into my head. Okay, Defy Gravity, number 24. It says, impossible things happen every day. Just ask the hummingbird, who is an aerodynamic impossibility, a jeweled miracle. So are you. Every time you go beyond what has been proclaimed as every time you go beyond what has been proclaimed as possible. I've pulled this card recently because that same sentence tripped me up, and I remember it. I don't remember. I feel like it had to be within the past couple of weeks. I had this oracle card in a different reading. Anyway, sorry, not the point. Every time you escape the confines of should or shouldn't. Every time you step beyond what is known to discover what gifts await you in the unknown. You are defying confines of normalcy and spreading your wings so your life can defy gravity. Now is the time to think in terms of the impossible becoming I'm possible. That to me feels, again, a lot of the nod just towards like you wanting to relocate, move. If you're wanting your life to look different, but you're just not exactly sure how yet, that's okay. It's okay. All right. That is all I have for you guys, Gemini. I hope that this helped. If it did resonate and you want to let me know, you can drop a like or a comment. I really do love hearing from you guys, and it helps me out. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, Gemini.